call meeting order at 9:01. I gave you 1 minute. It's 9:01. So you asked for 2. We're gonna jump to the opening of the bid singular for the
Board business, yeah, 12 people, 12 asset pavement demo, received 1 bid. We're not in any pressing hurries, you can go back out to bid, we're not satisfied. But there was 701 bid, we gave it a month. So the 1 bid is phase asbestos abatement demolition of 1 land-based structure, 12 Depot Street. The bid is from. There's all the documents out for. Durable demolition, Lockport, New York. Okay. All the documents, this, all the submittals are. And the other, wants to see if we can find a bid. For 30 days, just be complete. Be closer. 38,000, 15, sorry. 38,000. All the other documents are signed.
This is the little house.
Little house that we put out for asbestos abatement and demo together, hoping that we would get responses, more responsive than this. I think that,
So this is for both.
this is for both. So, it wasn't, they didn't break it out, itemized. I would say that we put it out for bid for asbestos abatement and get the abatement done and then put it back out for demo to see what would be clean. Sometimes it does the asbestos part. Contractors like this, they may be are bidding it, they're like, oh, well, we don't wanna go in and abate the asbestos. Just give them a price for demoing the whole thing with asbestos in place, and they'll come in and demo it. Place, either way, they need air quality monitoring, we pay for anyway, so it's no added expense to them. Sometimes, so I think that we could clarify what they want, or we could put it back out to bid, reject this bid, because it was a sole bid, and then we decide.
Is it more than you expected
Yeah,
for everything? You know, the prior winter was always a lot lower. Weren't most of the bids for this similar type about this price?
yeah, so we, going off of our last demo, 63 cent ago, had noticed with the asbestos abatement and demo together, asbestos, just the demo was like $9,000.
That whole cost ought to be 20, I agree with you, ought to be 25,000.
25 with the asbestos, and then we do just get quotes for the asbestos. Do the asbestos and then put it back out for bid with as clean, see what we come back here. I think it might open up a lot more, the asbestos might have scared some demo people away. I thought we'd do the opposite, I thought we didn't entice asbestos contractors to do the demo as well or something.
And we're within our rights because it's a single bid that we can refuse it.
Try and just itemize it out, do that.
And we want a motion.
I think it'll save a couple to save $10,000 if we do it that way.
Do you remember when that asbestos statement?
I think for the transite siding, so we did the transite siding on the house in Almond, and that was way bigger than this house, and I think we paid like, this is pretty low, but $6-7 grand, $6 grand. And then it's small, and there's some tile in there, which is small, you can just break the whole floor out, that shouldn't be. It should be equal of that, so I would say, the demo should be less than 10. I mean, the payment should be less than 10, and then the demo will probably, that's where it's from, in my head. So
we should have a motion to refuse the bid,
Refuse all bids that came in, to we,
and bid it separate. Is that one motion or two? Probably
Probably
two. So need a motion to refuse the single bid. All bids. All bids. If there was only one, but all bids.
I would make that motion.
I'll second.
Any other discussion on that part? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. Now we need a motion to put out an RFP for the asbestos abatement only.
Motion for that, or do we get direct them to do that?
Yeah, I don't know. Because we're changing it from the whole thing.
I don't know if it needs a motion, but it might be just because we're doing it as part of the day.
I'm just thinking that we're trying what we were doing before.
RFP separate. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, it's RFP, the abatement, and put two separate RFPs out, one for the asbestos abatement, one for the demolition.
Do we want to get the asbestos done before we put the other one out?
We can get the quotes at the same time and just do the work back to back.
And save time. Okay, I would make that motion as well.
I don't second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, back to the agenda. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
With the change.
The change of the RFP being new business first. Or the opening of bids.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second by Dave.
all in favor?
Aye.
Minutes of the June 15th meeting, 2026.
Thank you. Good question.
There's no additions, deletions, or corrections. I entertain a motion to approve as submitted.
I'll make it.
Or,
I'll second.
all in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. We've got a third use in the packet. Kate, you're up.
If we look at page one, the grant summary, LBI phase two is currently, everything has been requested. We do have $27,000 left to spend. That's two, contracts, one for Clinton Brown and 8 West Main, in Friendship and feasibility study. And the other one is escaping me right now. I don't have a note on that, but that's just for 2 remaining contracts that should be spent out in the next couple of months. LBI 2 capital, this is one that we got the extension on through November. We are kind of held up with some of the expenses there, but this is covering the 15 Second Street, which is starting to move back along. There's some new pay happen for that. And it has money set aside for Friendship, the 4 to 6 main that we're waiting on the borings to happen. And we're gonna talk with, I think now we'll go back out to bid with these projects that we just talked about for the 12 depot, but we're gonna talk with HCR once we get those numbers back about being able to take some money from the Friendship project just to spend this old grant out first, which we don't foresee being an issue. And then LBI operations, so this is now 100% spent. We have been talking about how that was gonna happen. They've pushed our date back for this. We used to end in beginning of August, now we're ending at the end of August. So we have program delivery that will cover that, but that trickles in. There is one request remaining, 657723. I wanted to submit that today, so I have a piece of paper for people to sign before you leave, whoever can hang around for that. And then LBIT Property Services is the new grant for $2 million. We haven't spent anything there yet, but there's a line item we have until end of 2027. And then the general fund grant set aside is at about 65% spent. This is 50,000 for the 3 capital grants. So as soon as phase 2 is fully spent, that'll drop down to a $100,000 budget. And we added another 50 when we got the property services grant. So we're tracking there. Underneath is the holding class expense. There's $38,000 there that's paid out of our bank account, but it's not assigned to any grant. So as I put that on grants, it goes into that chart above. Some of that's program delivery, like I said, that just trickles in and will be covered over the next couple of months. And then there's a capital grant disbursement I haven't put in because I'm waiting for 15 Street Road to come in, so that is a significant number.
So what is our cash fund that we have?
Great segue, right underneath is the cash summary, and the,
Oh, I thought that's where you were talking about.
oh, no, there's a little box that says holding class expenses, that's what I was mentioning. So for the cash, we have.
Oh, I see it now, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, land bank initiative, our total cash, including that disbursement request is just over 109,000. And then for general fund, so we have 138,000, almost 139, and then 52 of that is set aside for the grants, so our reserves for the general fund is the $86,000.
Sorry.
Well, that's fine. And then the second page, this hasn't changed much since the last month, because I haven't put any large disbursements in, but you can see we're, as we've said, 100% dispersed and 100% committed on the phase 2, which is SHARS 2023-0024. And then that second column there, the LBI2 capital, we're at 52% dispersed, but 100% of that committed. And then the third column is the new grant, and we have so far $50,000 of that committed, but not dispersed yet. That's for the acquisition of 10 West Main in Friendship. So there's your date.
Okay. And a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I'd make the motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Dave, second.
Heather, second.
Ed. Any other discussion on the treasurer's report? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Funding.
I just touched on the land bank initiative, admin renewal is coming up. Other than that, we got the 2 million ready to roll. We're waiting to hear back from our administrative plan. We had to submit an admin plan for a pilot home repair program that we're gonna try to run with part of that money. Very fraction of the money. It's a small fraction. I mean, we got 2 million and I think it's 150,000. But,
Submitted plan for what?
for an admin plan for the home, so we're gonna use 150,000 out of our $2 million grant for a home repair program, and they wanted to see an administrative plan, how we're gonna run that pilot. Yeah, we submitted that, so we're just waiting to hear feedback on that. We've been doing some research into CDBG, the CFA grants that are out there, especially trying to help our municipal partners solve some construction problems they have that have held up projects with us, specifically the Hope and Move in New York grant and some other projects that we're working on that. So we're not going after those ourselves. The CDBG specifically, you have to be municipality to do that, and we can either pass through to them, but Kate and I, the more we talked about it, we're trying to help them. We don't want to do all the work. We don't want to be a pass through. We'd rather be grant support, help them write, help them administer the grant, but and the 2 times we've tried to do this, to be a sub-grant, it was a sub-recipient with the county, it was very hard with the logistics, whereas whose roles are what, because if they're for the sub-recipient, it looks like we're actually the grantee. the grant for or whatever. So we thought a better way to go about this was just to support them through grant support instead of taking the grant, and running with it. So we've just been doing some research towards that. In fact, there's a lot of them are due at the end of July. I think this will be this round that will do it, but we've been put some effort towards that. The cross mod move in New York grant is still the round that we did not receive funding for when we tried to vote. It is, it is still starting that first round. They haven't kicked it off, it's rolling out slow. So the next round that we will be going after, we've been working on a partnership that I'm not at liberty to say on record right now. It's just not far enough along. But we have some partnerships that we can try to put some more of these cross mod houses in around the county. Hope is still wanting to move to revisit that plan that we worked with them. So hopefully we go back when the next cross mod grant opens up, we resubmit that open project, but it's built out to maybe have another municipality involved too. See, so we're swinging for the fences on that, but it seems like it's a ways out at this point. Anything on funding, any questions on funding?
What was the CFA thing? I totally lost me.
Yeah, I just said we've been looking at other grants to help support our municipal partners. We're not going after anything in the CFA per se, but we've been looking at and that's, when is those grants are due at the end of the
Most of them
summer?
are due at the end of
End of July, July
There's a
31st.
few
Next year.
months later.
There's some rolling ones, but
So you've identified particular municipalities that.
yeah, we've been working with a couple of townships trying to, like specifically, I think there's one that we're working on that we didn't want to talk about till it gets further along, but like in Oakland, we went to them and we sent them the one about the roads, money they can get for roads. Just trying to direct them in the right way and letting them know that we can support them, if they go after them.
So we're gonna be just basically support, we're not gonna be grant writing or any of that kind of thing.
We don't, well, we might help with some of the grant writing as far as like assisting them in writing, but yeah, we're not gonna take it, we're not gonna just
We're not
let
gonna
them,
be lead agents, yeah.
right.
Would that be a fee for service?
Yeah, kind of just a partnership thing.
Okay.
Because we're doing a lot for them, they're doing a lot for us, so we're trying to
Yep,
make sure that it's not so one
just
sided.
wanted to be clear.
Yeah.
For the record.
Yes.
All right, infrastructure.
We can go to the property last pages. Well, no updates. We got the sign fixed it there a while ago, but that's really the only thing on the property is mowing and keeping that sign from getting kicked in. 15 Street, the change order and alteration plan has been accepted. The timeline has been increased because of the delay in the change order and, pretty much just the delay in the change order. And so that's delayed. But they're back, working. We're about 30% done with the project now. They're getting into the framing. They're getting, the change order was a more complex problem with the foundation and had to have drawings redone and stuff like that. So we don't anticipate any major change orders coming. We are just moving along. They're finishing, they're almost done with the framing and the selective demolition that was needed. Then they'll go on to roughing in the electric. They poured some concrete in the basement, because before it was just a dirt basement, now there's a concrete floor in the basement, so they're moving along. 111 Main Street in Bolivar, there's been quite a bit of fill dumped there by the municipality from spoils from their sewer and water line, gas pipe projects they got going on. I've been monitoring it to make sure that we don't bury that oil well the gas well that's on site. It's still quite a ways off. And they're aware, and the team should be aware of it. We'll keep revisiting it, but, yeah, I know that was a concern that we might bury that, but there's a lot of dirt. I don't know if anybody's gonna buy it, but it's a considerable amount of
Is that
fill.
oil well fenced off?
No, it's not fenced off. I mean, it's nature's done with trees, but it's so far away that they would have to start dumping it at a different area or start pushing it that way.
That was out of.
I'm gonna go and, yeah, it's down in the corner. I'm gonna go and throw some long sticks with some red flag tape, pink flag tape and just over flag it. So they at least see it better, but I don't think that it, I don't think it's gonna get filled in over, but, that's really improved that site. Definitely for safety, it's, before it dropped right off the road, like a car went.
Jason, how you doing? Good, this is John with the Allegheny County Land Bank. You guys been dumping, some, material over on 111 Main Street for us?
I think I can do that.
I just wanted to,
I noticed he wasn't muted, and I thought he was talking to you.
At least it's working.
Earlier he was muted, so.
Yeah, I think thought he wasn't, and you muted him, unmuted him. Yeah, so that's going along well. 2 West Main Street Friendship, we should be closed on that property soon. That's, I thought that when we wrote this, I thought we'd be closing this week. But on Friday afternoon, I got an email that there's a missing title abstract. So it might not get closed this week, but it's right there, it's ready to, and someone from the community has reached out to me about 2 Main Street. They want to put a little bakery in there, so we have potential out on that building already. So we're working with her, told her to get her funding together. She was supposed to submit, maybe to my email, supposed to submit a purchase application today, just to get on record that she wants to buy it, so we can see, because in our purchase application, there's a little section about what you're gonna do with it. That's the most important part right now, is we wanna know what you're gonna do with it, or so we have.
So what was our goal to purchase that if we're gonna turn around and sell it? I thought it was gonna be part of the whole development, so it kept developer.
Yeah, so it looks like the way that we wanted to have that to be 2, 2, 4, 6, and 8, and we're going to do the whole thing as one. But working with Clinton Brown, we're starting to see that with the way they are historically, 2, 4, and 6 could go together, but 8 and 10 kind of have to stick together because of that separation, just the architectural component. And we'll get to that later, but yeah, we did, that was our original plan. But with somebody wanting to go in there turnkey, our biggest thing was we wanted control over it. We wanted to make sure that that the front didn't stay shabby when all ours are getting fixed. So my goal, my intention would be for us to work with her. It's gonna take a little while for that sale to go through. She's gonna have to get her funding in place, and she's gotta work with the people who own the equipment inside. So in that meantime, we'd just be doing what we were gonna do anyways, work on the facade, don't worry so much about the inside, work on that facade, get the historical tax credits for the facade work, and then we ensure that the exterior, that anybody we put in there is more set up for success by having a place that they don't have to go in and put a bunch of money into the windows in the front facade and in the streetscape.
So we could, in a purchase agreement, we could have that language, is that what you're thinking?
That was saying
So they could get it sooner than later?
Yeah, just start working on it. And it'll probably drag out, but at least get someone on. She wants to do it. If she has the financing to do it, it'd be nice to just have that working as for the sale and everything else moves. Instead of fixing up the front and then putting it out for sale. And if we try to sell it with 4 to 6, we might be sitting on it for a while because just the longer we look at that building, the more things. More problems that these have.
Have we been in it and checked out the basement?
Yeah, basement's dry, it's good. We went in there last winter and we made sure that we kept the heat on, and Brad was monitoring it all winter to make sure the pipes didn't break. And we watched it in spring to see if any water came in, and it's still free. So yeah, moving to 4 and 6, we're still waiting. It should be in the mid-August. They'll do the EPA, the brownfield grant money will pay for that phase 2 to get the ground boring samples done, so we can get the environmental approval to do the rehab.
Have we been over there recently? I had a resident say that the front, foundation had moved it some more.
Did it? So,
I don't know, maybe he's seen what we've already seen,
yeah,
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know what it was before, and I don't,
check quite a bit. Well, I'll look at
you may wanna take a gander.
I might throw a piece of plywood over that hole too, just so someone probably don't fall down in it or something. It's just a little gap, but it goes all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll revisit that, but I'm going to ask if HCR, if we can get in there and start doing some of the work and count it as pre-development instead of rehab, then we don't need the full environmental approval. Worth a shot, just because everything's dragging out, we want to get moving on.
What's going on with environmental, since we're on that
April, August, mid-August, they should come do the
So it's
boring.
gone from June to July to August, what's the holdup?
The scheduling, I mean, these people are pretty specialized and they're doing, there's there's other sites that our IDA is working on that they're prioritizing because the scheduling they came first, so. And I had to wait for some reason, but I mean, it's a specialized thing, so I think it's hard to schedule, but then once they do the boring, we don't know how long it'll be while they're out in the labs. Right, so they're probably gonna send it to a lab somewhere.
Good.
8 Main Street feasibility study. It's just over half complete. The architect's opinion is that this should be combined with, I just said this, we should be combined with, 10 Main Street since they're adjacent as far as feasibility, putting the money into 8 wouldn't yield the same as it would if you combine it with 10 for the economy of scale, trying to get 2 storefronts, multiple apartments, and they can all work in one unit and it's more enticing, so that's kind of how we're looking at that going forward.
Jason, 4 to 6, is that 7, 12, 24 still a go?
Oh, yeah, we should be, 4 to 6, we should be closing on that this week, that's our goal, and it's,
Didn't know if it was tied up with the other.
no, it shouldn't be tied up with you.
Thank you.
4 to 6 Depot Street, we got that all cleared out. Getting, waiting for soil boring on that as well. Antique Barn,
Do we own 8 yet?
yes, we got that on the tax auction. 8.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. And 5 Water Street, we closed on this last month, that's the Antique Barn, we're, just holding on to that for storage of materials when we start doing the bigger projects. 31 Grover, we have the contract signed, John met with the builder the end of last week to get the schedule, he's gonna get us the schedule of values once a lot of these contractors, you know how it works, we tell them, hey, we need you to wait a week or a month, then one they just sit on their hands, now they're getting another job, so then we go back and say, hey, we're ready to start, it's okay, we need a few weeks. So that's where we are with this one, he's just finishing up some jobs to be able to come down, working on schedule values for that. 63 Seneca. We've been working with People Inc. to try to come up with a pro forma or a financial model that shows how the money can work, but they can build on, if they wanna build on that site, and they want us, they're working on how that pencils
We
out.
just buy a cross mod.
Yeah, we can, so we can buy a cross mod, if one of us on our team takes the 1 or 2 day course, we'd have to be a retailer or a distributor, which one, retailer, and we take that, then we can be listed as a retailer, then we can get that price point that the state's getting, 250-ish, well, for the model we were looking at. But then we'd have to do this financing, so it'd be for doing one, yeah, that's kind of where we're looking at with People like, because it's just a one, but, if we want to do that for multiple, we can do that, but then we would then need to come up with that kind of nut to buy 10 of them, 2.5 million. You know, so, doing one, yeah, I think we're moving towards that. If you guys, want me to get some more information what that costs, we can look and see who, I would probably do it. Then we just have.
It just seems like we're not gonna get that next grant opportunity at the soonest, until sometime next year.
Yeah, maybe even 28 seems more.
So do they really wanna sit around and wait for that?
Right, exactly. And we were talking
Do
about.
we really wanna sit around?
And it might be, and if I take the course now, instead of getting the grant, and having to take the course, I might as well take it, and then in our grant, you can say, hey, where are you? Like,
It might just be a good educational opportunity, so
For sure.
if we get into the deep ins and out of it, you know what the hell all the language is and all,
yeah,
you know, the price structures and.
There might be multiple other options of single settings too.
right.
Yeah, we
We
have
set
like
up
little-
10 of them and hope we could spread 10 around and.
Yeah, we're hoping to if we do 10 in Oakland, and 10 in another municipality, and then maybe sprinkle a couple in our site, that'd be ideal. But it's about coming out there, for that grant, they want us, the infrastructure is always gonna be your biggest challenge, having seen site ready for, you know,
Maybe 5 years.
yeah,
Just seems like we were talking about building a house in Elman for 630,000 or 24,000, whatever it was. we had the money ready. And we could essentially build one there and one in Wellsville for almost the same price.
Yeah, and we just like in our budget for this, we have $100,000 that we wanna put towards building a new house. That we wouldn't get back, we'd say, hey, here's $100,000, now you put in $250,000, now it's a $350,000 bill. Anything you sell back, you break even money, because the people like this isn't trying to make profit, they're trying to break even money, like, people are losing it, but if it was our money, we try to break even, when it's grant money, we lose it. So yeah, I mean, but we could even revisit our budget with all these projects that are held up, we could maybe just buy one at the 250 price point. If we had the money, I mean, but we kind of took the 2 million that we had coming in, we spread it out amongst a lot of things. Well, that was, right, I started writing that grant a year and a half ago. So going back to now, there's nothing the same. We started projects that we were gonna hold on to, when we held on projects, we were gonna start. So, yeah, we revisit that, maybe just put one in as a trial, and that would be the spot. But biggest thing is people needs to have some skin in the game too. So that's why we were hoping that they could come up with some financing option if they sell it. And the cost of my grant has, and any of our grants will have an administration fee, so we will be able to gain some of this back. Now, if we have to split it, we're doing it with people like it for 5%, and we will get 2.5%, it's still something, but that's what the cross mileage is, 5%, but the actual, I think it's 10% on other land-based stuff, so we might be able to recapture some of the grant money back too, through a good thing.
If we did that, did one, then we would bear the full expense of it.
Well, I'm trying to get them to split it with us, but right now it looks like they want us to bear the full expense. Until sale, and then recapture some at sale. But we can do that by our own, but really, their partnership works best if they put a little skin in the game, and then they deal with the sale. If they wanna put some ADA accessible, they have their clients, and then we don't have to do what we've done, is put it right on the open market, and sit and wait. Better to have somebody waiting for the house and it to be built, than it is to build a house and wait for someone to want to buy it.
On that property in Whitesville, would that be eligible for these cross?
Yeah, that one's tougher because there's no water and sewer, or I think there's water, but no sewer. So that one's a little tougher, but it's not, but they still will allow it. But they want us to, they don't wanna put too much money into the site preference and stuff. But that's $20,000 in septic systems. And the neighbor's family wants to build there and get about to get this, so there's some interest in that too.
That's the next item. Wait, so.
It just seems like, and maybe we can reallocate all the funds and I'm just thinking about it wrong, but I'm just thinking, we had the money set aside, we used that money for something else. Probably, but there still should be that pot somewhere to do the house in Elman and, you know, we can do the people lake at this one. Same time and for almost the same amount of money, just seems like we should be investigating it.
Yeah, that is the problem, is that we had that 600 that was like, that grant's running out, and then we put it into other projects. And that demo we just did is a good example, we just spent 120,000 on a demo that we didn't see from. There's a chunk, and some other stuff we moved around. The bids, the rehabs on those houses, we expected those to be 100,000 less each, so now we're at 300, so yeah, it goes quick.
I mean, not that far out in the future is our next grant round for 2028.
Exactly, that's
It
what.
could be budgeted in there.
Yeah, I mean, and once we button up 4 to 6, we don't have to just keep developing something that doesn't have much on it, we can move money around, we have money out there, so between now and next meeting, I'll look into that course, probably even sign up for it, if it's.
That's what I was gonna say, if we need a motion to have you go ahead and do that.
Is that
It's
expensive?
an online,
If you wanna come back with whatever.
is it an online course or
I believe there's no, I believe it's something.
how much can it be?
Once you investigate it, bring it back.
If it's more than the chairman can sign off on, then we'll.
Yeah, I can go get up to $1,000, $999, so. Shouldn't be anywhere near that. I would
Is
hope
Brook-
not.
It's like 500.
Yeah,
Grover Street, is that gonna be done this year, or is that still?
Grover Street, said?
Yeah,
That's when we're waiting with the, waiting on the contract, is ready to start, we're just waiting on the scope, schedule of values. We've got our approval from an HCR, so we're just
So what's
waiting,
the timeline for which, project?
we're hoping by the end of the year.
So it is this.
This year?
Yeah. For Grover,
Drew is gonna have a crew of people on there. Once he gets going, it's gonna go quick. Drew does a good job, so he moves quickly.
yeah, John just met with the builder on Friday, so.
There, we have a meeting this Wednesday to meet with all the subs that he's got, and we'll go over everything and be starting motion as soon as he gets that SOV in.
So that Grover, if that's complete, we won't have to do anything else on that site again? And we can put it up for sale or whatever?
Yeah, little landscaping is the only thing we don't have in there, it's like shining up the street.
Good appeal, you know.
That'd be positive, that thing's been on the list for 10
That's
years.
about. Well, we got one coming off anyway, there's dispositions. All right, so that, moving on to Whiteville.
Yeah,
Talk about it a little bit.
It's nice to 60 Whiteville, back to, real quick on 63 Seneca, we got notice from DC that they've retracted the wetlands, designation here, so no longer we'll deal with wetlands permit there, but we, as of now, the Whiteville houses still need a wetlands permit to build there. I talked with the neighbor, they're looking into financing and looking for some way they wanna, the son and daughter of the person who lives next to the houses we demoed. They wanna build houses and make like a little family lot there. So, we're just waiting here on them as everything else transpires, so.
So we may not need to build there.
Well, they work in cooperation, they couldn't do it on their own, so they wanna help us subsidize that. But they're looking into their capabilities and desire right there, so. Acquisition this,
So there would be just one house on that lot?
they're looking into doing two small ones actually, but, they're still waiting around.
There's two lots there, right?
Yeah, there was two lots, but they're small, you know, they're those old lot, one was insizable, the other was kind of squished in there. So, yeah, I think that I told them we wanna do two, they said they wanna do two, but wanna look into the cost and all that stuff. Acquisition and disposition, 10 West Main, we were moving along with that, the title and survey had to be updated, but that should be a easy lift since they were last updated in 2001, so you don't gotta go back too far.
I'd like to go into executive session for the proposed acquisition, sale of, or purchase of that property.
Friendship, okay.
10,
There was Brian,
no, I can't make that motion, but I'd like, again, I'll make that motion.
I put Brian down, he can be second.
Okay, all in favor at
Yep.
9:39. Dave, can you get the door, please?
Do we need to have